Dark. Is this it? Mayday.
Yes. We will move in darkness. I will get the children to the airport.
District OP set up a search. I'm pulling the plug.
You are not in charge. I am.
Alright, hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. This is Rob here at Smirking Gun Reviews, back to talk The Handmaid's Tale, Season 3, Episode 13. It is the season finale. Felt more like a series finale. An open-ended series finale, nonetheless. But this is Mayday. Just got over with, so full spoilers if you have not seen this episode. And again, I got... This is the one I have the most notes on, I think. Look at this. Notes. I got stuff. But before we get started, I just want to say, give a big, huge, ginormous, heartfelt thanks to every single person that has checked out my videos for this season, and those especially returning people from last year. I can't thank you guys enough for the support that you guys have given me, and how the majority of you have been, accepting of my voice when it comes to this show. I know that I can be an acquired taste. I want to thank everybody for sticking with it, even though I wasn't sure I was going to. But you guys kept me going. And throughout what was kind of a difficult season, and just a difficult time in my own life. So again, I just want to thank everybody that subscribed and all that stuff. And remember, we still have the contest. This is the last video. So this will be the last video. You have to be a subscriber, leave a comment, and you can win the Handmaid's Tale Season 1 Blu-ray or DVD. Like I said, just be a subscriber and leave a comment. And it's going to take me a while to get through them because I got a lot of comments, and so it's going to take me about a week to sift through all that. So after this, I'm going to give everybody a week to put their comments out there. And then next week after that, I'll announce the winner. I'll have to compile everything together and announce the winner. And just to let everybody know, if you like the content, please hit that like button. Hit the subscribe if you're not a subscriber. Hit the bell for all notifications so we can get into this video. So, wow. And remember, I write this stuff down and I talk about it in the way that I watched it. So it's almost like a reaction review. But here we go. So we go all the way back to the beginning. With alarms and orders and separating people. This is all the way back to when June was first taken and separated from Hannah. And it's very jarring and very scary. They're taking the handicapped and the mentally challenged and hurting them separately from the rest to what I can only assume is a horrifying death. I call it the beginning. I also call it something like, this is probably like what Trump's wet dreams are like. People in cages, separating people. I love the shh guy. Like, he's not being a jerk, but he's just like, it's just the beginning of just how people, they just go along and do this. Like, it's like people can't remember World War II. And the camps, and separating, and all that, and what we fought for, and what are we doing now? What are these people doing now? Doing the exact same fucking thing. Just to women. All these guys deserve to be ripped apart by the women that they took. Like, I want to see them ripped apart. Gunned down, just, I don't know. The worst. There's nothing, these guys are like Nazis. There's nothing that you can do to them that I would find unacceptable at this point. Like she says, they're fucking ruthless. And where does it come from? This talent for being ruthless. I don't know. I was raised with sisters. And my good-for-nothing mother, the only thing she ever taught me that I still hold true is to be respectful to women. And I don't know where this ruthlessness comes from. It's taught. It's people aren't just like this. Except for that like very minute 0.1% that's born psychotic. So it's fucking unacceptable. June lays out her plan in the next scene in voiceover. Very cool shots. I love the overhead look. I still love the starkness. It's clean. So I guess that's one thing Gilead has going for it. It's clean looking. But I have no, like, at this point, I have no faith in this plan. I hope that I'm wrong here. You know, like, at this point in the episode, I was just like, no. It's just too clean. It's just too clean. And I didn't want to be a pessimist, but it just, every time we get close, something happens. And of course, here's where Aunt Lydia comes, always to be helpful, like a creeping case of herpes. Just all of a sudden sneaks up on you, and all of a sudden there she is, just ready to fuck up your life. But again, we need Ann Dowd, and we needed her in here to do what Ann Dowd does best, which is create tension, make you think that something could happen potentially here. It's crazy. We also find out at this point that June has no time for usefulness with the girl that's working with the other Martha and of Joseph's house. And I did feel like the strong woman comment of Joseph was a little like stop pushing the guy that's helping you get out. I'm all for, again, I keep saying I'm all for girl power. But when you write lines like that in situations like this, it kind of undercuts. You're trying to get a message out that doesn't have to be this forced. And again, it's with a person who started this whole thing, okay? He's never been completely on board. He believes in it enough to start the whole fucking thing. And so again, plot armor has still been a problem for me with June. Or she's just allowed to say whatever she wants to whoever she wants this season, and nothing hardly happens. And even if this works, I said to myself, there's going to be a price. There will be a price. There's no clean. There's not going to be just this easy breakout, even if they get out. And we get some early arrivals for Mayday, which is just like right away, not a good sign. Not a good sign at all, in my opinion. But I still love, did you ever notice how the show cuts to commercial? Now, I know that not everybody can have Hulu Plus. I understand that completely. It's hard paying for all these streaming services. It's out of control. But I will never go back to just regular Hulu. So I love that there's commercial cuts in the episodes when there's no commercial for anybody. Do what you got to do. But I think it's funny because it's like watching it on like Netflix or something. Serena. Okay, so Serena, she's sitting there happier than a pig in shit, apparently. Her deal, which I said, because they're like, she's giving them the information. Now they're telling her she can leave. Where does she want to go? And I'm just like, I told you they were going to fucking spin this. So maybe she's not a hero, but she gave them what they wanted, and now she gets to walk, she gets immunity, she gets the fucking baby. And I'm just like, God damn it, they are fucking spinning her right to freedom. I mean, okay, I was thinking, sure, she gets out, somebody could kill her. I'm sure there'd be plenty of people that would pay for the information that even in Canada, as nice as Canadians can be, somebody'd be willing to pay enough for the information to find it and take the money for the information to find Serena and put two back, in the back of the fucking brain pan. The scene where June explains freedom to a child is a pretty touching moment. And but this is where her Martha, of course, because she fucking showed up early, has second thoughts. And I was just like, bad move, lady. But they let her go. They let her go in the end. She gets the gun. She pulls it on her. She follows it. You know, I hate this. I've said this in other shows, reviews. Don't pull a fucking gun unless you're prepared to really use it. It's fucking annoying. But I mean, what was she going to do? She would draw attention to herself if she fired the gun. I know this. But there were plenty of other things they could have done. They could have fucking knocked her out with the gun. I don't know. So I just... Because now Joseph wants to call it off, and it's all decided because they decided to write one skittish Martha that throws everything into the wrench. And I know that I thought it would be the kids that fuck things up, or maybe a crying baby, which there is like a one moment where the baby starts to cry, and I go, oh, fuck me. And I know that things could, like I said, things weren't going to go according to plan. I just didn't know that it was because they almost they let one go, and then June has that freak out where she puts the gun on the kid, and it's supposed to wake her up, which is fine, whatever. I didn't feel like she was going to blow the kid away, but, you know, it's supposed to represent how far she's willing to go. I do like when she's talking to Joseph about, you know, he wants to give up, and, oh, the little girl is a commander's daughter, so she'll be all right. And she's like, oh, so she's not going to get her clit cut off when she falls in love? That one was that's like a hard pill to swallow. Like, holy fuck, man. Like, that is some fucking harsh shit. So she's taking charge, and again, I'm just like, at this point watching the episode, I'm just like, she still just can't not poke the fucking bear. Because she just, you know, whatever. It's the end of the season. We'll see, like, what happens next. But Fred's testimony comes, and he's offering all the inner workings of Gilead, and he knows he's fucked. But he has to, you know, again, the rats will start eating each other. And that's exactly what he does. And he goes after Serena. So it's spin for Serena, right? So they decide that they got to walk out. Because the door-to-doors are going to be happening. And they're going to be watching the roads. And so, like, there's a lot of talk, like, there's stuff in here about Moses and getting the Israelites out of Egypt and stuff. So I guess, you know, it makes sense with what they were going for. You know, marching them through the wilderness to the promised land of Canada. I'm from Canada. Hello, bye. It's 12:19 in the morning. I knew I was going to end up using a Canadian South Park thing. Hi, I'm flapping head. But so the kids all arrive. It's time to go. It's a cool scene of all of them, you know, sneaking in and out with the cops not the cops, but the Gestapo. Let's call them the Gestapo. The new Gestapo, the neo-Gestapo of Gilead are going by. But then we get what Fred gave to the American that, was all lovey, was all, I don't know, encouraged Serena to do all this. Maybe he doesn't want to do her. But, he's that face. You got to blame somebody, right? You got to blame somebody. So he's the face I blame. But she is arrested for June's rape with Nick. The arrangement that she made to get June pregnant with Nick was known by Fred, and he gave it to them. And so her fucking immunity is taken away. So no more spin for Serena. Thank fucking God that they did this. And I wrote down that I could high five Fred for that if he wasn't a rapist fucking cocksucker. But there's the really great shot of Joseph with the kids reading Treasure Island is pretty awesome, even though it goes on for a little bit too long, where it's just like, hey, you know what, I appreciate that you're just like doing a dramatic reading right now, but we gotta fucking split, okay? So Janine arrives with bad news that Martha that freaked out that they let go has been caught, and now they're doing door-to-doors. So it's go time. And now Joseph stays behind because he says Eleanor would want him to clean up his own mess, which would be fitting, even though I think he would have been useful in some way. But what are you going to do? So they're out in the wilderness, and we get our like night, our music playing and everything. And I just got to tell you, in a tense situation, I don't like slow-mo. It's a time-sensitive situation, and we're playing music, and it's being all like overly dramatic, and I'm just like, let's get to the plane, please. I know these are little nitpicks. They're just little nitpicks, but it's just like I'm on pins and needles here while I'm watching this, folks. I don't know if you are. But when they're doing these things for dramatic effect, it really annoys me. Also, duck and cover, motherfuckers, because they're running across, and it's like these. I'm like the light's gonna see them. I'm freaking out. I'm really freaking out while I'm watching this because it reminds me of that scene with the hobbits in Fellowship of the Ring, where they have to hide from the ring wraith. All of a sudden in the tree, where it's just the cop just shows up, like they just duck and cover. But they get away from it. The cop the neo Gestapo move on, and they get to the plane, and everybody's smiling. I'm like, stop fucking smiling. You smile when you're in the fucking air. But the neo Gestapo show up there, and so June goes out to distract them so that everybody else can make it to the plane. And she's, I was thinking to myself, well, she still doesn't have Hannah. So, I mean, she got everybody there. She said she wasn't leaving without Hannah. And so if she stays, like, how can she survive? That's the only thing. I'm just like, how can she survive? Seriously. Where did I write it? Seriously. How does she get out of this if she stays? And I mean, I know we've talked about this, and I've mentioned this on other videos. If she doesn't get out here, she's not getting out. I don't know, but we'll get to more of that. But Janine gets this weird look on her face, and it's like, oh, okay, well, she's gonna at least have help. And yeah, she shows up with a bunch of the others, and they start whipping rocks at this guy. They took out a couple of the people, and he's there, and he starts shooting. And some of the Marthas and others get shot. And I was just thinking, so they use this to get the kids, like, running to the plane. They're not running that far away, and I'm just thinking to myself, doesn't this guy have peripheral vision? I know it's dark out, but they're not that far away. And again, it's just my own, like, noticing these things. I know you'll all be like, do I want them to get caught? No. When I see something that doesn't quite make sense, I have to call it. I have to be honest to how I feel about it. So maybe it's just me because I have good peripheral. I don't know, but it bugged me a little bit. But I gotta tell you, my heart was literally pounding when June stands up and goes to, like, confront the guy and then run. My heart was pounding. I felt it. I was like sitting there because I was dead quiet. Wasn't writing anything down or anything. And I was just like, I could just feel boom, boom, boom. As she's running away, I'm like, oh, fuck. And so she gets shot. And I was like, oh, remember the gun? Because I didn't. I forgot for a second that she had the gun in her boot. And so, bye-bye, fuckboy. She blows him, shoots him. Gets him to call off the alarm or whatever. And her coldness and the way that she's smiling and encouraging him that that I'm just a girl look on my face, and then how that glosses over to rage and you fucking motherfucker, boom. And so she's laying there, and we hear the plane and the lights, and it reminded me as it goes over, and it reminded me of that last shot or one of the last shots from Lost. I think it might have been the last shot from Lost, where Jack's laying there watching the plane take off with Sawyer and Kate and the rest of them. I thought that was kind of cool. So she sees that they got out. You know, I was even then I was waiting for a fucking rocket launcher or something to take out the plane because I can't allow myself to feel like anything good would ever happen. I mean, we've had some interesting good moments here, but I'm just still waiting for like the hammer to come down. Until they opened up that door in Canada and the kids weren't all dead somehow, I thought that they were all dead. Because I just figured, well, that would be par for course, right? That would be what this show would do to us. Like, all of a sudden, there'd just be a bunch of dead kids. You know, like, I don't know. They'd find out, like, maybe somebody, I don't know. But that's not what happens. Moira, Emily, and Luke are there doing triage at the place, waiting for the kids to get off. And they do, and Moira sees all the kids. She doesn't see June. We keep on Rebecca, the one girl that June talked to, and she comes off, and she sees what is apparently her father, which was really convenient, but I mean, I guess somebody would be like, oh fuck, you know, like all of a sudden, it wouldn't be unheard of, it's just a little convenient, but it's still like, it is really heartfelt, and it gets Luke sees this, reunion, and he gets like this hopeful yet desperate look in his eyes as he's looking for June and Hannah and wanting his like family reunion, and her not being there, but Rita coming off. I almost teared up. I almost teared up here because it's just like too much, because I know where she is, and she did all this for everybody else. And while I have had issues with this season, with plot armor and stuff, they stuck the landing and made her stay and like got her shot, and pretty much, I mean, I don't know how June would get out of this. But, you know, Emily reunites with Rita, and that's nice. Rita meets Luke, and she tells him all about what June did, and that this is all because of her. And we cut then back to June getting found by the Janine and the rest that weren't killed. And she's laying there dying, and they play this like really great Mazzy Star song, which if you've never heard of Mazzy Star, check him out. It's a great music choice for June's fantasy as she's laying there seeing, you know, her family having in better times. And they're taking her and they're carrying her out, and you know, she does the whole Moses thing about milk, you know, getting them out and going, you know, the paradise full of milk and honey and all that. And I just, this is definitely a better, like, I feel better about this ending than I did the second season finale, where I was just like, oh, fuck off. But I warmed up to that one too. But this one's more of a, like, if this show was going to end and we had at least known that June got people out and that Serena was arrested and Fred's probably going to get killed. You know what I mean? Like, so I would have been fine if this was or is the series finale. Because sometimes this is what the story is about, right? I mean, but I don't think she's dead, but I just don't see any way out, like, in this, like, where are they going to take her where they won't all be executed? Because Aunt Lydia is going to be on the fucking warpath, more than the warpath. I mean, she's just going to be making nooses herself. She'll probably make them make their own nooses. I don't know. But it's definitely, like, if this were the end, I'd be satisfied with this ending, even though she didn't get Hannah out. But I know that that's not where this is going to end. I mean, it just has to go to black so that we can speculate what happened. And it makes it more dramatic for later on. But in the end, really good finale. It delivered. It made me, you know, like like I said, I've been trained to be prepared for being really depressed, and we got a hopeful ending. Even if June were to die, you know, something good came out of this. And like I said, Serena going to jail, and Fred pretty much on the execution block for war crimes. So that's it. That's the end of season 3 of The Handmaid's Tale. And again, I want to thank everybody that's joined in and watched these and enjoyed these, and even the people that didn't like these and left me some nice comments about how I could not do these videos or whatever, you know. You know, and anybody who checked it out, even if you didn't like it, even if you didn't subscribe, whatever, you still checked it out, and I appreciate it either way. And so again, remember about the contest, everybody. Be a subscriber and leave a comment. And in about 2 weeks, we'll announce the winner of the Blu-ray of season 1 or DVD, whichever you want. And I will I will be announcing the winner, so check back on that. If you're a commenter and you want to win, definitely check back. The winner would just have to email me, and I'll send the email information in that video that I make to announce the winner. So anyway, that's it. Oh my God. So if you liked this review, please hit the like button, comment, share, subscribe, all that jazz. Otherwise, if I don't see you guys on the, hear from many of you on, I'm sure I'm going to hear from a lot of people. But if I don't see any of you guys until next year, remember Smirking Gun Reviews. Be back next year for the next season. So have a great night. See you later, everybody. And see you next year. Bye.